Chicken divan casserole. What a name, what a meal. Welcome to V's Cooking with Love channel. I actually came across that some they call this also divine. It really is a divine meal. So let's cook. I have been making actually this casserole for more than 3 decades now, and I am very grateful always because this recipe comes to my kitchen from my in-laws that they've passed it on. But actually it's almost 100 years old now. So we will have to have a cooked chicken. You can either boil it, you can use rotisserie. I actually baked one. And if you are using a boiled chicken, you might have to put some spices. The ingredients are really not that complicated. You can actually adjust them to your taste buds and to how fancy you want to get with this recipe. I followed basic recipe, but I also have made this a few different ways with some upgrades. So we will start with boiled chicken and boiled broccoli, and you'll need a 9 by 13 inches baking dish that you might want to spray with cooking spray. Yeah, so the broccoli you can use either frozen or a fresh broccoli, either way, your preference. About 4 cups, finely chopped. The more you chop, the more it will disappear in the meal. So if you are looking to hide broccoli for somebody in your home, this is the way. My husband never eats broccoli besides this. So the more you chop it, the more, like I said, it will be almost invisible. But the taste, it upgrades the taste. The whole chicken that I made, like I said, I baked it. If you are boiling it, you will end up with some chicken broth. You want to make sure it's finely shredded on tiny little pieces. Fork probably does the job the best. You can also make it with some chicken breast. If you go that route, you can follow my creamy chicken recipe. I will attach the link to it. You will need, however, 4 chicken breasts. I would recommend to make this. So we are spreading this with another layer. First layer is the broccoli, the second layer is the chicken, and you just want to make sure that you work this all around, including the corners, that they are all filled up evenly with all the ingredients, because we will be layering them up. Yep, just like that. And then we are using here 1 can of cream of chicken soup, 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. You can, like I said, follow my recipe. You can add mayonnaise, you can add cream, you can add extra mushrooms, you can saute mushrooms with onions and add it to it. Like I said, it depends how busy you want to get with this recipe, and some they even add celery. I personally don't. I have made it with fresh mushrooms. I have made it with some sour cream, with creams, but I prefer to follow this recipe, even the basic recipe, just like that. It's very delicious. So if you are looking for an easier one, this is the easier version. And we will coat the chicken and make sure that the soup is spread out evenly. Like I said, you can add extra salt and pepper. If you are using just boiling the chicken, I would highly recommend that. Mine was already full of flavor, so I didn't have to add too much in this recipe. And next ingredient that we will need to make another layer with will be cheddar cheese. Again, you can add some Parmesan. We can be adding Gruyere to make it all gooey, but cheddar does the job very well. You want to shred it yourself. You don't want to buy a pre-grated one. I would highly recommend to do this on your own, because it melts better. We will need about 14 ounces of it. You can make it 16 if you want to go, but 8 will not be enough. I wouldn't go with 8 ounces. And we will cover our dish with a layer of cheese. And again, make sure you're working all the way to the corners, all the ingredients, to make sure that it's even all the way around. I know you will enjoy this recipe because that's why I make it over and over again. Now my kids are making it too. And so you have it, and I hope you will like it and like my channel. And now we are ready to cover this dish with some aluminum foil. Make sure your dish is deep enough that the foil does not attach itself to your cheese. You want to make sure that it's lifted. And once it's covered, we are going with the whole ingredients to the oven. We will be baking it at 350 or 175 Celsius for my Canadian and European friends out there. And on the meantime, we will be working with some crackers. I'm using Ritz crackers here. I counted, there were 60 crackers. They do the job very well. You can use a little bit less if you don't want the heavy coating on it, but I really do. You can even use breadcrumbs. I would recommend them to be maybe with some kind of spices, because the Ritz crackers, I really think that they bring extra flavor here. Some of the recipes don't have that, I noticed, and I think this is the secret to an extra taste. The crackers, they will be going into a melted butter. You can use a whole stick. I try to cut down a little, so I use 3/4. Unsalted, however, because the crackers are already salted. If you want, you can replace the crackers also with versions that they are not salted if you are cutting out on some salt. Make sure you mix that very good with butter. You want to coat that, that it has that little wetness from that butter all the way around. And you want to be mixing this for a few minutes. I mean, not constantly, but a few times you want to turn that breadcrumbs around because they want to get a little bit like a honey color, I would call it. Not too much, and they smell so good when they are getting heat up with that butter. And like I said, not too much because they will be going in the oven, so they will get darker in the oven a little bit. But you see, they have that honey color, I would call it. And after, when the chicken is in the oven for about 30 minutes, we will be coating the cheese with these breadcrumbs. And let me know how you may be making this recipe. I know there's a few different ways that you can make it. Like I said, this is kind of standard one that I've used for many years, and I tweaked it, and I know you can tweak it, but you really don't have to. This comes out delicious. I mean, look at these bubbles going here. And yeah, we're gonna spread the breadcrumbs or the crackers. Make sure the cheese is covered with it. I like a nice thick layer, like I said, because they do add tremendous flavor to this dish. So we're just playing with all the layers. The more layers, the better, huh? You can even replace the broccoli with cauliflower or add different variations for that recipe too, or use both. Yep, yummy, yummy, yummy. We are going back to the oven for another 10-15 minutes. Kind of watch when the crackers, they're gonna be turning darker color. And yeah, you see they change. I have another shot of this coming up. Yep, right there, you see. It's nice and dark now. And that means we are ready to serve. You might wanna let it sit for a couple of minutes. I didn't, and everything is so gooey and it just oozes out from my spatula. But the taste, the combination of all these ingredients, it's truly makes this the best casserole, chicken casserole that I've ever made. And you will too. Look at that. If you have any leftovers, it's really easy to reheat it in the microwave just for that couple minutes, and it tastes the same the next day. If you are using boiled chicken, you can even squeeze some lemon on top of it, because sometimes the chicken on the second day, it's kind of like, you know. But in this one that I baked, I already did use lemon, and it's so yummy. I think I like the baked chicken a little bit better, but if you boil it and add some spices, you end up with that chicken broth. So keep that in mind. Depends how frugal you want to get. And here it is. My husband is not a broccoli eater. I know I've said that again. So if you are hiding broccoli from your kids or whoever out there, they will really enjoy this broccoli. You can serve this with potatoes, you can serve it with pasta, you can serve it with rice, or eat it just like that. And I know you will enjoy it. So thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.